Good evening, everybody. DJ Styles here, Custom Courses. Okay, so what we have here is a moving jaw. Well, you can't really move it too much on this armature, but this is a moving jaw plastic cheap $8 mask that I'm going to turn into a piece of art. It's going to be pretty cool. But first, what I have to do is prepare this head itself. All right, because I'm using one of my urethane rubber master copies of my Ultra FB78 I'm going to use it as an armature, because I don't think what I plan on using is the foam product. It's Loctite foam, and I'm going to put that over this whole thing. You know, I'm actually going to follow the line of the jaw. It only gets the foam, the Loctite foam only gets attached to the top portion of this skull plastic mask, and the line goes down this way right here, and then right underneath of this area here. But all this gets spray foamed from here. All right, but we're not going all the way down the neck with it, and I'll explain why later. But the first thing I have to do is I want to make sure that the spray foam doesn't get attached to these straps, because when the spray foam's hardened, it's a hardened shell, these straps are going to go around your head inside the mask to keep this mask nice and tight against your face. All right, so they won't be part of the foam. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take this mask off real quick. I'm taking the mask off. I'm blocking your view, I know. All right, so this is the mask itself. It's cheap. It's got the foam padding in here, and then this goes on your head and keeps it tight against your face. All right, but the first thing I have to do to keep this spray foam from sticking on here, I'm not sure that it would stick on this, but I'm just being cautious. All right, we're going to put a plastic trash bag over the whole thing. Really? All right, now I'm going to put the mask back on. We'll make sure it's over the ears too. Put the strap back on it. Make sure these straps are over the ears. This is part one. There's going to be a lot of parts to this. All right. And this is all underneath the chin. Really good. It's positioned perfectly. That's where we want it to be. Now, when I put spray foam on this, but here's what we're going to do. Before we do that, because spray foam doesn't stick to plastic, all right? The only thing the spray foam is going to stick to is the mask itself, the top portion of the mask. We don't want it to touch the lower portion, because the lower portion is a moving jaw. So we don't want this being stopped from moving, because if I cover all this up here in spray foam, the jaw won't move, and we need that jaw to move. Now, this is the original concept. I'm doing this for the first time. I've never done this. Okay. Well, what did I do to this cellophane? There we go. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm wrapping the straps with cellophane. So this way, the straps don't get stuck in the foam. just tucking it underneath. Like so. Now I got to wrap these. Put that more centered. There we go. One side then the other. This is only part one. The reason why I can't go any further than this today is because I still got to go get my Loctite spray foam. The Loctite spray foam has become a real thing with mask makers. And thanks to Alan Hops, who I actually think is the first one to use this method with spray foam at Stilt Bee Studios, and you want to see some amazing work, go check out Alan Hops at Stilt Bee Studios. All I'm doing here is I'm making sure that the straps don't get any we don't want that stuck to the foam. A little bit can be stuck, like if in other words, right where it fastens to the mask, if it gets on there, that's not going to be a big deal. I can peel that off. It's not going to hurt it. The majority of that strap, we don't want touching that spray foam. That's the key. All right, now we're going to do the other side. With this method, you won't have to use any kind of spray release. Yeah, you won't have to use any kind of spray release. So I'm definitely tucking down to make sure that the foam doesn't get hold on, gotta pull it a little bit further. Come on, get my fingers up underneath the strap. Just making sure that the strap is well covered. All right, you don't want that strap sticking to that foam. All right, now this is prepped for when I get the spray foam. Now what I'll do is before I'm going to take this outside tomorrow, and I'm going to sand this area real well with a real high gritty sandpaper to make sure it's got plenty of scratches in it. And then I have this foam that will act as a base. I already started putting it on here to give this a scowl. See how the scowl is like, I put foam right here. This is not epoxy. What's it called? It's foam clay. That's it, foam clay. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember that. That's simple. It's sculptable foam is what this is. It's a foam clay. And what I'll do is I'm going to sculpt a really cool face on this thing once the whole thing is covered in foam where I need it to be. All right, so the first thing we do tomorrow is sand this down real good. Then I run out to the store and I go get myself 2 cans of spray foam. One's just a backup, just to make sure I have plenty enough to do the mask. And the only areas it's getting covered is from the top of this mask down across the ear here. All right, so here's the seam. Here's the seam where the jaw is. We don't want to touch that. We want to come down here like this and go right underneath the back of the head with the spray foam, and then back up underneath that ear here, and then all around this whole thing. And the Loctite won't stick to the plastic, nor the wrapping here that I have on the straps. And we don't want that to happen because we want the spray foam to be on its own as a shell. All right. Now, once this is hardened, that spray foam will harden and it'll be part of the mask. And it'll be really cool because at that point I can do anything to the outer side of this spray foam. And the spray foam technique is a very simple technique. And I will show you that technique tomorrow on the next video that I do with this. Yeah, this is going to be cool. This is really going to be a cool mask when this is done. It'll really give us a really cool, I can turn this into a Scarecrow mask. I can turn it into anything. I can turn this into a werewolf mask. All I have to do is bulk out and make a nostril, a snozzle on that thing, and extend the lower jaw, and I can make this into a werewolf mask. I can do anything. I can sculpt that with that foam clay. I can sculpt anything on here. We don't want to use all that foam clay as the whole. So what you do is you actually, if I wanted to make that nozzle real long, what I can do is I can make the nozzle out of tinfoil and shape the tinfoil and then super glue that tinfoil right on here, and then put the spray foam over, or not spray foam, put the clay foam clay over top of that tinfoil. The reason why I'm doing it with the foam clay is because foam clay is sculptable. All right, so I'm using the base of the mask, of the head, in spray foam, and then the fine details I can really sculpt really nicely into the face and facial features with the foam clay. All right, a little more work, but it's going to reveal, it's going to give me so much more detail. So that's what we're doing. And this is my concept. This is my idea of what that's the whole point. When I watched Alan Hops at Stilt B Studios do the foam clay thing, or not foam clay, but the spray foam mask, I thought, wow, how can I use that same concept, only I want to be able to do more detail to the face. So foam will stick to foam. The foam clay will stick to the foam just as easy. So I can put all kinds of really cool textures on here with the foam clay over top of the spray foam because it'll stick to it. Foam sticks to foam. Plastic foam has a very hard time sticking to this. Now, foam clay does stick to plastic pretty good. So what I plan on doing, after I sand this here, I'm going to put a thin coat of this foam clay over top of this whole thing, over top of the area where I want that foam clay to stick. So it's going to stick to this really well. Yeah, this is going to be cool, guys. This is going to be original. I think you guys are going to love this mask when it's all said and done. When it's done, it's going to be really cool. And it's a way you guys can make your own custom Halloween masks and make it really high detail. So you're going to love this. You're going to love it. I'm telling you. When this is done, this mask is going to draw some attention. And I think, I haven't made up my mind. Do I want to do a Scarecrow? I'm going to leave it up to you guys to vote. Scarecrow, tell me what you want. Zombie, Scarecrow, what do we want to do? I don't want to do werewolf. We're not doing werewolf yet because I don't want to put that kind of time into this one right here yet. I want to get a base concept of how I am going to extend the lower jaw. I'm going to make this jaw longer. The reason why I want to make the bottom chin longer is to elongate the face. The face looks very wide and it doesn't look really cool. So you can actually turn this into a clown mask. You can do so many things with this mask. It's insane. You can do so much with this. But my point is I'm going to extend that chin down longer to elongate the face. The teeth are going to be right where they are. Nothing's going to change there. we're just going to make the chin a little longer and down lower, so it elongates the face a little bit. This is just, you know, how you achieve giving the illusion, something that looks this wide, you need it to make it look a little, you know, proportioned. This doesn't look proportioned because it looks so wide. This skull mask is it's a cheap mask. It's $8 on eBay. And you know, you can find any one of these cheap masks and do the same thing to it. And what I'll do is I'll build the chin up with tin foil, and then I'll super glue the tin foil to the chin, or hot glue. Hot glue works good too. I can hot glue it to the chin, all right? Then I'll sculpt the chin, you know, to make it look just like this, only extended. And I'll do that with foam clay over top of the tin foil, because the tin foil, it'll stick to the tin foil really well. And this way you're not wasting a lot of foam clay. Foam clay is not that cheap. It's not real expensive, but you don't want to waste a lot of foam clay. You want to build up your armature. That's what I consider this, an armature at this point. Anytime you start sculpting on top of something, it becomes an armature. So you want to build up your armature with using tin foil, or, you know, any areas that you want to build up. You know, the only thing I can't do is I had to use the foam clay. You see how the scowl is here? I used foam clay here. And that was just an experiment to make sure that the foam clay would stick to this plastic without sanding it. I didn't sand this area. So I know that it does stick to it real well, so I'm still going to sand it so it's nice and rough, all right? And then I'm going to stick the foam clay over top of the skull here where I want the spray foam to stick to. So this is going to be cool. I can't wait to get this thing on the you know, when I start making this tomorrow. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun sculpture to do. It should be really fun to learn this process with this thing. Yeah, that's where we're at. And the inside, where there's straps on the inside of this, made out of the same stuff, the elastic. And what I like to do is stretch those straps out as far as I can, and I put hot glue in there against that rivet. There's 2 rivets that are right here, all right? And I'll put the hot glue, or the strap is, on the rivet, so this way it absorbs into that strap, and it'll never come off. And you don't have to worry about the rivets popping or anything like that over time. And even if you do, if the rivets were to pop out of here in this mask, all you do is you just take you take the rivet out, and you want to make sure that you don't lose the strapping. The strapping's important in here. That's what gives you that spring back. So, as a matter of fact, let me just show you on the other mask. Let me just show you that. That's the easiest way to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So, here the rivets popped because I was trying to make the jaw narrower, more narrow. This area here I was squeezing together to make this more narrow, but it feels very uncomfortable. So, there's a rivet here and a rivet here, all right? And then I replaced this rivet, and all I did was use a zip tie on both sides on there. But what's more important here is these inside rivets that hold that, that give you that spring for the jaw, all right? I glued them, I hot glued that to the face on the back side, and I stretched this out to make sure that the glue got into the fabric of the strap real good first. And then I stretched it out, and then I put the hot glue on each side, and that really fastened that perfectly. I did it to both sides. I never have to worry about that strap coming undone. But this is a cheap mask. And you'll be able to move your jaw inside this whole mask. Imagine this, oh man, it'd be great for a haunt. And these are original monsters, which I don't have to, sculpting original is so much easier because you don't have to follow any details. You know, you don't have to follow a picture. You don't have to follow. You just make your own thing. Do your own thing. Do some crazy stuff to this thing. It'll be cool. All right, so that's where I'm at. And when you guys watch this video, vote on what you want to see. It's going to be either a Scarecrow. Here's the choices: Scarecrow or Zombie. Which one do you want? Or a combination of both, Scarecrow, Zombie. We can do, I was thinking actually doing a Scarecrow Zombie. That would be cool. You know, with features of like a clown kind of, you know. I'm not going to tell you everything I'm going to do to this thing because I have a really cool concept with the mouth, how I'm going to do that. That's going to be so sick. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to get this thing started, you know. So that's what I'm doing since I'm pretty much at a standstill with my 1-to-1 FB78 that I made. I just have to silicone that now. It's the only thing I have left to do for that, and then I can start making. I have to wait for a decent day. I need temperatures, you know, in the 50s so I can actually stone a master. So first thing I have to do is silicone that. But this is going to be the part that I'm doing. This is what I'm working on meanwhile. So this is part 1 of this particular mask work that we're working on. It's going to be cool. You're going to love it. Can't wait till it's finished. And it's going to be one step at a time. I'm uploading this video. It's just so much easier doing it that way than trying to go live with this kind of thing. All right, guys, peace.